Hey P31 sisters, I want today to just do this short little video for the Proverbs 31 speaker team. So if you've stumbled upon this video and you're not part of the team, you're welcome to listen, but this is specifically for the Proverbs 31 speakers. Recently we've done some training with Rob Eager from Wildfire Marketing on value statements. And you've sent me your value statements, and for the most part you did pretty good. What you sent me was a great start. But I want to help you take it to that next level and really implement what Rob was saying. Remember, Rob taught us that value equals results. In other words, results of a true life change. So anytime we do these value statements, we're asking or we're answering for the audience two questions. So what? And we're teaching so that they can go make a change. Basically, the audience is saying, okay, well, this talk description sounds good, but what's really in it for me? So let me give you some examples of what we need to change or sort of improve about the value statements that you've sent me. One, we need to make sure to avoid Christian cliches. And what do I mean by that? Well, here's an example of a Christian cliche value statement. Find that peace that passes all understanding. Well, that sounds like a good teaching point, and certainly it's part of a Bible verse, which is good, but your audience can still say, so what? I mean, it sounds so Christian cliche-ish that they may not really understand how that's going to improve their life today. So we could change that by saying, instead of find the peace that passes all understanding, we can say, discover how to have inner peace and security in any situation. Do you see how changing that value statement makes a difference? Then the audience can really pick up on, hey, there's a value statement I can relate to. There's a value statement that I can see the value in that could create real results or life change in my life. Another thing, besides just avoiding Christian cliches, we want to avoid vague statements. Here's an example of a vague statement. Have a more effective prayer life. Now, of course, we want people to have more effective prayer lives, but it kind of seems like an empty promise. It seems like a very vague, big statement like, be a better Christian. Well, how do you really do that? So we want to make this more specific, this value statement. So instead of saying have a more effective prayer life, what we can say is sense God responding to your prayers. And that's very specific, and it's very doable if we can deliver that true life change or results in our talk. Another thing, besides avoiding Christian cliches and avoiding value statements, is that we want to avoid using teaching points as value statements. Here's an example of a teaching point. Live a more joy-filled life, or live the joy of Jesus. Now that's a good teaching point, but it's not a good value statement because your audience can still ask, so what? Or so that we can do what? So a better value statement, rather than just live a more joy-filled life, would be rediscover the joy that keeps life in perspective. It just makes it more specific and more understandable that this truly is a session that's going to change my life. So what do we do with all this? Well, once you take a look at your value statements and consider what I've spoken about in this short little video tutorial on value statements, I want you to redo your statements and take out those Christian cliches, take out the vague statement parts, and avoid using teaching points, and resend them to me. So if you can do that as quickly as possible, that would be fantastic. Along with this email, I'll send you some more specific about dates and all of that stuff. But if you can go ahead and take a look and implement this teaching, then we'll move forward with this project, and I'm so excited. Have a great time redoing your value statements. Thanks, guys.